We adore our feline friends and often can't resist sharing a bite of our snacks with them. Yet many common human foods can cause anything from mild discomfort to life-threatening emergencies in cats. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through 18 everyday foods you should never let your cat sample, plus the nuances and expert insights that make this guide even more reliable than most. Let's dive in. Chocolate contains theobromine and caffeine, two stimulants cats cannot metabolize effectively. Even a small nibble of dark chocolate can trigger vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, or seizures. In extreme cases, it can lead to cardiac arrhythmias and death. White chocolate contains far less theobromine, but is still high in fat and sugar, posing its own risks. While some cat owners report their pets sampling a stray chocolate chip with no apparent harm, veterinarians stress that onset of symptoms can be delayed by several hours, making it impossible to predict. If you suspect your cat has ingested chocolate of any kind, call your veterinarian immediately. Salt is ubiquitous in human snacks, from chips to popcorn, but felines need far less sodium than we do. Consuming more than roughly 40 milligrams of salt per pound of body weight in a single day can lead to sodium ion poisoning, with symptoms including vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, and lethargy. Some veterinarians have even used slightly increased sodium in prescription diets to encourage hydration in dehydrated cats, but this is always under strict professional guidance. As a rule, avoid feeding salty table scraps or letting your cat lick salt shakers. Although wild cats thrived on raw prey, modern house cats lack the robust immunity and digestive adaptations of their ancestors. Raw meat and fish can harbor bacteria like Salmonella or E. coli, risking severe gastrointestinal illness. Raw egg whites contain avidin, an enzyme that binds biotin, vitamin B7, and can lead to skin and coat problems over time. Some long-lived indoor-outdoor cats reportedly subsist on backyard catches without obvious harm, but the unpredictable nature of pathogens makes raw diets a gamble. If you choose to feed fish or eggs, always cook thoroughly and remove all bones. The flesh, leaves, and pit of avocados contain persin, a fungicidal toxin that cats cannot tolerate. Ingestion can cause vomiting, diarrhea, difficulty breathing, and in rare cases, heart muscle damage. Even avocado oil meant for cooking can contain trace persin, so any product derived from the fruit is best kept out of paw's reach. That guacamole you're enjoying may look innocent, but for cats, it's a hidden danger. Contrary to popular cartoon imagery, most adult cats are lactose intolerant. Kittens produce lactase to digest their mother's milk, but lactase levels decline sharply after weaning. Cow's milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream can all trigger cramping, gas, diarrhea, and vomiting. A small spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt might be tolerated by some cats, but it's not worth the risk of gastrointestinal upset. Stick with fresh water and vet-approved milk substitutes if you want to offer a milk experience. Whole or chopped nuts pose a dual threat. They're hard to chew and swallow, a choking hazard, and their high fat and oil content can induce pancreatitis, vomiting, or diarrhea. Macadamia nuts, though not as well studied in cats as in dogs, are particularly rich in fats that can stress the feline pancreas. Even nut-containing baked goods or cereals should be kept far from curious kitties. Bread dough left within reach can expand in your cat's stomach as it ferments, leading to painful bloating and gas. The yeast produces ethanol as it rises, and alcohol poisoning can follow. Look for agitation, uncoordinated movements, or shallow breathing. Always store dough securely and clean counters promptly. What seems like a harmless snack for you can become a serious medical emergency for your cat. Oranges, lemons, limes, and grapefruits contain both citric acid and essential oils that irritate a cat's digestive tract and skin. Ingestion can cause drooling, vomiting, diarrhea, and sometimes depression. Even the scent of citrus oil on a kitchen towel can repel or distress a sensitive cat. If you want to safely entertain your pet, offer cat-friendly fruits like peeled melon in tiny, well-supervised bites, always avoiding the skin and pith. Tuna, intended for human consumption, lacks the balanced nutrients cats need and is high in mercury. While an occasional bite of plain, cooked tuna may be a welcome treat, overindulgence can lead to mercury poisoning and malnutrition, as your cat forgoes complete meals. Some veterinarians have approved small amounts of human-grade tuna for senior cats with poor appetite, but only under clinical advice. Reserve tuna for special occasions not as a daily diet staple. Whether cooked or raw, bones can splinter and lodge in the mouth, throat, or intestines, causing pain, choking, or even perforation. Fish bones are notoriously brittle, and cooked poultry bones can break into sharp fragments. Always debone meat and fish completely before sharing, and supervise any safe chew toys designed for felines. Even trace amounts of grapes, raisins, or grape-derived products can induce acute kidney failure in cats. Symptoms include vomiting, lethargy, and decreased urination, sometimes progressing to complete renal shutdown within 24 to 48 hours. There is no established safe dose, so zero exposure is the only way to guarantee prevention. Keep trail mixes, baked goods, and cereals containing these fruits well out of reach. Coffee, tea, chocolate, soda, and energy drinks hold caffeine levels that overstimulate a cat's nervous and cardiovascular systems. Rapid heart rate, tremors, seizures, and collapse can result from even a mouthful. Keep your morning cup and all caffeinated beverages firmly out of paw's reach, and rinse mugs thoroughly before placing them on low coffee tables. Ethanol exposure in cats, whether from beer, wine, spirits, or even fermented dough, can rapidly lead to central nervous system depression, difficulty breathing, loss of coordination, and hypothermia. Products like hand sanitizer or mouthwash containing alcohol are just as dangerous. If your cat shows any signs of intoxication, such as falling over or unresponsiveness, seek emergency veterinary care. Coconut meat and milk carry high levels of saturated fat and potassium, which can upset your cat's electrolyte balance and trigger hyperkalemia, an elevated blood potassium that impairs cardiac function. While topical coconut oil may temporarily relieve dry skin or static, ingesting significant amounts of coconut products risks serious heart problems. Always check labels for hidden coconut derivatives in processed foods. Onions, garlic, chives, and leeks all belong to the allium family and contain N-propanethyl S-oxide and other sulfur compounds that damage red blood cells, leading to Heinz body anemia. Cats may first show pale gums, weakness, and rapid breathing. Their urine can turn a dark port wine color. Even powdered seasonings count. Homemade soups or gravies made with onion or garlic should never be shared. Many candies and sugar-free gums contain xylitol, a sugar alcohol that prompts a dangerous insulin spike in cats. Rapid hypoglycemia, seizures, liver failure, and clotting disorders can follow ingestion. The bright colors and chewy textures can also pose choking or intestinal obstruction risks. Keep all sweets, especially those labeled sugar-free, locked away from inquisitive paws. While peach flesh is not as acutely toxic as the seed, leaves, or stem, the pit contains cyanogenic glycosides that release cyanide when metabolized. Signs of cyanide poisoning include difficulty breathing, dilated pupils, and collapse. If your cat scavenges in the garden, consider fencing off peach trees or immediately removing fallen fruit to eliminate temptation. Rich layers of fat, whether from beef, pork, or poultry, can trigger pancreatitis in cats, an inflammation of the pancreas that causes severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and dehydration. Obesity and heart disease are also long-term risks of a high-fat diet. Cats are obligate carnivores requiring lean protein, so remove all visible fat before cooking meat for your pet. Cats are curious creatures, and you may have seen videos of them sampling forbidden foods. But while some individual cats seem to defy the odds, the safest path is prevention. Keep all human snacks securely stored, clean up spills promptly, and learn to recognize the early signs of poisoning: vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, lethargy, and loss of appetite. If you ever suspect your cat has ingested something harmful, call your veterinarian or an emergency pet poison hotline without delay. Quick action can mean the difference between a minor scare and a life-threatening crisis. If you found this guide helpful, please subscribe for more cat care tips and share this video with the fellow cat lovers in your life who would benefit from knowing which human foods are off limits. Let's keep our kitties happy, healthy, and safe.